Hi guys, welcome back to Rob's Arsenal recap, and in this video we're just going to take a deep dive into some stats into some analysis of the game against Man United. So let's just get straight into it. So this was the lineup against Man United. We had Aaron Ramsdale in goal. I personally wanted Raya, however Arteta chose to go Ramsdale. We had Ben White at right back with a Ramsdale with a rating of 6.5. He keeps getting some low ratings, right? The last match it was in the 6 as well. We see Ben White with a rating of 7.4 at right back. William Saliba with a rating of 7.1. And I don't believe Ben White played that well to be getting a rating of 7.4. I think he had a terrible match. Gabriel Magalhaes with a rating of 7.2. Zinchenko with a rating of 6.7. That surprised me. I believe Zinchenko played well. He controlled the match. He was playing through the lines. Kai Havertz got a rating of 7.1, which didn't do much in the match. He had a shot. He literally miskicked the ball, and he's the one that gave away the ball in the Man United's half, and they counter-attack and led to Rashford's goal. So I don't believe he should be getting a 7.1 over Ramsdale. It was as much as his fault for the goal as Ramsdale. Zinchenko didn't do much wrong in the game compared to Havertz, so I don't know why he's on 7 or above 7 in rating. We see Martin Odegaard 7.5. Declan Rice, man of the match performance with 7.8, and he deserved it. He should have been 8 to be fair. Eddie Nketiah with a rating of 7. Gabriel Martinelli 7.5, and Bukayo Saka 7.4, which Bukayo Saka had a terrible match. This is one of Saka's worst performance. These 3 or 4 matches in the start of the Prem, I can easily say that it's some of Saka's worst performance in an Arsenal shirt. So if we take a look at the Arsenal's and Man United final third passes, we can see a massive difference, a huge difference. So when you look at Man United final third passes, their success rate is 47. Their unsuccessful rate is 27. That's basically half. Half were unsuccessful. Half of Man United final third passes was unsuccessful. They had 74 final third passes and 64 accuracy. It just looks scanty. What were they doing in the match? Because they had so much threat going forward in terms of, I see them, Rashford having a few shots and things like that. How did they get there? How did they get to that position? That's what I would like to know, because this just looks like, it looks embarrassing from Man United point of view. 47 successful passes in our final third. Now look at ours. This is night and day comparison. Our successful rate is 168 and unsuccessful is 41. Our unsuccessful rate is almost as equal to Man United's successful rate. That's how embarrassing Man United passing was on the day. We had 209 final third passes with an 80% accuracy. So even though we had more passes, we still had more accuracy than Man United. And normally it's the other way around. When you had least pass or the less pass, then you have a better accuracy, because there's not much to go against comparing to a team that does a higher passing. There's more chance of misplaced passes. So we dominate Man United in passes, and this is another evidence to say that all they were doing is just doing long balls to the wingers, and the keepers doing lots of long balls. Sometimes it goes to their current player, sometimes it goes for foreign. So this is the reason why they got an honor. They got an honor for a reason like this, and it's not paying off for them so far. So far, it's an embarrassment. Look at the successful rate of our pass compared to theirs. We more than doubled their final third passes. So it's not, I heard some fans talking about our build-up play was United play, build-up play was better. United possession play was better, and I'm thinking they're talking about in steps. They're talking about in stages, but for the whole match, if you judge the match on a complete game base, then you realize we Arsenal dominated that match. Dominated, and we can see that based off the passes. Man United could not string a few passes together. This looks terrible. If this was Arsenal, I would be raging right now. This looks terrible. So now we go over to Arsenal's pass map. So this is the pass map where you see Ramsdale. Starting from Ramsdale, you can see that the thicker lines is where most pass went. That's the direction most pass went to. So when you see Aaron Ramsdale, he passed to Gabriel Magalhaes. No, he passed to Ben White the least. Then I would say to Gabriel Magalhaes the second, No, he went to Declan Rice. You can see a link there between a small thin line to Declan Rice. He went to Declan Rice the least, then to Ben White the second least, then Gabriel Magalhaes, then he went to William Saliba the most, because most of the time William Saliba is the most closer, is the closest player to him, because William Saliba is playing further back than Gabriel and Ben White. You can see when we set up in a 3 with Gabriel Magalhaes on the left and Ben White at the right, they're slightly advanced. Gabriel most of the time is playing a 2. Right now they're in a 2, but in the match Gabriel slightly went forward because he's trying to cover that left hand side, that left back situation, because Zinchenko was playing inverted. So we see a thick line when it comes down to William Saliba, Gabriel, and William Saliba and Ben White. Now this is the route where the left hand side took, because Zinchenko was inverting. There was no outlet ball for a left back for Gabriel Magalhaes to play to. So you see Gabriel Magalhaes was mainly going to Ben White in the middle, and so does William Saliba. Ben White didn't go to Declan Rice as much, because you can see he went to Odegaard most, and then he went to Saka. So he went most to Odegaard and then to Saka, and you can see the triangle right there between Ben White, Saka, and Odegaard. That's a beautiful little triangle. So all over the pitch you can see different triangles. You can see different patterns forming between the Arsenal players. We see Declan Rice. It's like he's in a spider's web. He's in the center of a spider's web. That's basically him summed up in that match, summed up for the last 4 matches. Declan Rice is in the center of the chaos. He's controlling the chaos around him. He's spurring the ball off to whosoever is in space. He's taking the ball off opposition player, clamping them, slamming them, hard, aggressive. That's what this highlights Declan Rice for the entirety of the match. For me, he's in the middle of the spider's web, spraying out the webs all over the place. That's Declan Rice. We see Zinchenko basically right in the inverted, playing beside Declan Rice. Most of the time we see him go over to right, but he stays on the left. He goes everywhere in that center midfield. He doesn't stick to the left. He goes to the right, and Declan Rice covers on the left as well. We see Kai Havertz played just above Zinchenko, and Kai Havertz is basically mainly going to Martinelli. So we can see Zinchenko feeds him, but he mainly feeds Martinelli, and we see he sometimes feed Eddie Nketiah. Martinelli is always the furthest forward. You can see from this heat map, you can see from this pass map, he's always the furthest forward, and that's because I believe that Arteta gave him the instruction to basically put Wan-Bissaka under pressure. Keep Wan-Bissaka under pressure. Don't give him a chance to come out his area too often. Keep him under pressure. So the more advanced he plays, the more Wan-Bissaka is going to keep having in mind, because you know he's a very tricky customer, and that's it. In the game, Martinelli kept having the upper end of Wan-Bissaka, and he keep dragging him back. And when you drag back a player, he drags back the whole defensive line, because then they can't afford to be the 2 centre backs and the left back can't afford to allow Wan-Bissaka play everyone else on side. So they have to drop back the defensive line, because Wan-Bissaka keep on getting dragged. So overall, we had a expected goal ratings of 2.27, not bad considering we scored 3 goals. Man United have 0.94. That stats don't lie. They should get a goal, right? And that's all they got. I hear fans and even Ten Hag saying, basically in my words, he's saying that the referee cheated. He's saying that they should have had a penalty. They should have scored that goal, or the lines were drawn differently. It was drawn at an angle, or it shouldn't have been offside. But stats don't lie, and the stats say they should score 1 goal, right? So let's just leave it there. Expected assists, we had 1.18 to Man United 0.64. Ball possession, we had 55 to Man United 45, and the passing lane don't show the stats possession for Man United having 45%, having 74 passes in the final third. Now, what this tells you is that they've been playing in their own half. They've been passing. Onana is basically the player that should be getting the best passer, having the most passes, having the most controls, having the most dribbles. Onana will be getting that stat, right? Because that's where the ball was. We just saw their stats in the previous slide where they had a passing rate in the final third of 74, having a successful rate at 47. Now that is poor, because that shows you that the ball was mostly in defensive areas for them. Now we see total shots 17 to Man United 10. Now once again they're quick on the counter, so they had lots of shots on the counter, but they only had 2 shots on target while we had 5. Once again, these conversion rate needs to improve for if we're to compete with City. These conversion rates need to improve. These shots on target needs to be. You can't be having 17 shots and only having 5 on target. Shots off target was 4 for us, and United was 1. Corners, we see corner kicks. We had 12. Once again, that is poor. We had 12 corner kicks and not scoring any. Last season and the season before, I think we spent more time on the training ground on corners. But this season, either the ball is too flat or was too high, or in match against Man United, Gabriel Martinelli could not even beat the first man. He took about 5 corners and not one of them beat the first man. That is very poor. Now, what I saw the strategy they started to do, sometimes they come short, and whenever they come short for the corner, then that creates an opportunity, that creates a chance. And I believe that if we can't learn how to, if we're not having successful crosses inside the box, just learn how to keep it short, get teams thinking that this is our new play now, and then once in a while you whip it in. But if we're not getting, I don't know what's going on with the set piece coach. He needs to improve this, that, but it's not looking good for the set piece coach. We are 2 offside to their 1, and you know that the offside is one of those offside is when Gabriel done the famous basically, what would you call that, the sucker, the tummy sucker, sucked in his tummy, squeezes his body behind the line, caught Garnacho offline. We got at 8 fouls to their 7, 2 yellow card, 3, 7 free kicks, 17 throw-ins to Man United 14. Man United had 8 goal kicks. Once again, that stats don't lie. That shows you that we were peppering their goals and the goalkeeper having lots of goal kicks. Big chances, we created 2. Once again, for having 17 shots and having only 2 big chances created, for having 55 possession and only having 2 big chances created, for being having 209 passes in Man United's box and only having a big chance created is 2. That's poor. Those stats are poor. Counter-attacking shots, they had more again. That was their game plan. Counter-attacking goals, we had 1 to their 1. So even though we were having so much position, even though we were playing our game, even though we were very solid at the back, we still we were playing so fluent, having so much final third passes in their half. Even though we were doing that, we were still catching them on the counter, because when they counter, we can be able to counteract their counter. So that's what we were doing most of the times in the matches, as well as playing our own game. We were playing differently. We were playing different ways. We weren't just sticking to one way, just like United, just kicking the ball over the top. We weren't doing that. We were playing different ways, different strategies. I believe I saw a stat that says, I believe it was Arteta that says that he played 36 different formation in the match. And I would have to take a deep dive into a video like that, because that just sounds like it's crazy. That just sounds like nonsense. That just sounds mad. It sounds cuckoo. So we're gonna a video like stats like that would need to be taken into account. We need to go deeper in the stats like that. We can't just take it. So I'll just leave that one for now. But goalkeeper save, Man United 2 to our 1. Shots outside the box 5 for Arsenal to Man United 3. Shots inside the box, we got 12 to Man United 7. 12 shots inside the box and only scoring 3. Poor. Very, very, very poor. I can't emphasize enough, the conversion rate of the team needs to improve. Our goal prevention is -0.45 to Man United -1.4. Now that's another thing. Goal prevention is basically the goalkeeper's efficiency, or being efficient at keeping out the ball, and comparing to the type of chance, how big of a chance that was created. So if it was not a good enough chance that was created and the keeper conceded, then that's going to give them a minus ratings, and that's why you see Ben White with a minus rating. He could have done better to prevent that goal. Even though it did had a fingertip save to it, he could have done better. That's why he got a minus, and subsequently that's why he got a 6.7 or 6.8 rating. So this is it, that Onana, what Man United fans have been singing, Onana, he's been a disappointment so far in all his matches. I've seen him went and literally punched someone and didn't get any card, or there was no penalty. This guy is gonna be very leaky for Man United this season. He's gonna let them concede lots of penalties. He's gonna give away lots of chances. So they're loving it, but to me, I can see so many errors in that player. Now, we had 532 passes compared to United's 462 passes. Passing accuracy of 464 at 87%. Man United 392 at 85%. Long balls, we had 14 out of 32 long balls, 44%, and Man United have 20 out of 45%. Crosses 6 out of 26 at 23%, which is very poor. Very poor. Man United is 1 out of 3, which is 33%. Dribbling 55%, doing 12 out of 22 successful. Man United having 4 out of 10, 40%. Possession loss, we had 119 possession loss to Man United's 99. Now, I don't mind that, because then that shows how we were trying to do things. We weren't just playing safe, we weren't just being safe, we were trying to do things in this match. Now, if it was a smaller team, then I would be very upset. If it was an easier match and we were losing so much possession, then I would be angry. But in a blockbuster match like mine against Man United, you can't have much bad to say about 119 possession loss, and almost the same as Man United, only having 20 possession loss more than Man United. So that's not a bad. Duel 1, we 43 to Man United's 40. Aerial duel 13 to 13, basically the same. So this is the last thing we're going to touch on: average average position. So we see the map, the chart on the left shows the average possession of the before the substitution. Once again, we see Gabriel Martinelli basically playing by himself over on that left hand side, the highest. He normally should have been Nketiah, and as we can see, the previous match, the first half against Fulham, we saw it was a U shape or an N shape, whereas the middle was so dry, the middle was so scanty, it was so free. But now in this match, you see Arteta starts with basically the match, the whole pitch is covered. We got people on the left, people on the right, and especially Declan Rice and Nketiah in the middle. We missed that in the last match. I think it was against Crystal Palace. That's why we played so poor. Now, once again, we see Ben White, Saka, and Odegaard always playing together, and we see Zinchenko, Havertz, and basically Nketiah and Rice playing similar position, and we see at the base of defense, Gabriel Magalhaes and William Saliba always there clamping down players, always there cleaning up the mess, and that's very reassuring. Declan Rice, over when the substitute comes on, we see Declan Rice is in the same position. Everyone else slightly moved position apart from White. White plays the same way. White plays the same place. William Saliba played the same place, and Gabriel Magalhaes played the same place. However, Declan Rice in the center of mid, he doesn't move his average position even after the substitution came. So that shows you that these four players are the base or the backbone, or the basically the glue that keeps the whole team together in terms from a defense to attacking sense. These four players, White on the right, Saliba and Gabriel in the middle, and Declan Rice on the base. Because when Tomiyasu came on, you see Tomiyasu attacking. Tomiyasu average position was so attacking, compared to even Zinchenko. Zinchenko wasn't attacking as much as Tomiyasu, and this is beautiful because when I see Vieira and Reece Nelson comes on, they're playing triangles over that side, compared to when Martinelli was there. So it's a different strategy. You see, when Martinelli was there, it was trying to beat the winger, the right back, trying to beat Wan-Bissaka, trying to put him under pressure. However, one-on-ones, tried to get him on one-on-ones, tried to do him, and most of the time Martinelli done him on one-on-ones. But when the substitution happened, we see Fabio Vieira, Reece Nelson, and Tomiyasu, they keep on playing triangles around the defense, and this creates a different situation that Wan-Bissaka needs to understand, needs to think about, needs to reposition himself, needs to condition his mind compared to when he was playing against Martinelli. And these things are psychologically sometimes difficult sometimes to just switch between understanding that you had on a player for the whole match, and now it's a new set of skills, new set of strategy coming full flood up you need to rearrange your mindset very quickly. So this is what I saw Arteta done, and it pays dividend in this match. We see Jorginho came on and was playing basically right back, and that's beautiful because that shows that we can adapt in different situations, in different match. Jorginho, normally a centre mid, experienced centre mid, playing in the base of that defense, right between basically Ben White and William Saliba, having that average possession. And mostly we were defending when before they came on, but when they came on, we weren't defending that much because Fabio Vieira once again came on and took the match to them. Reece Nelson done his thing, but Gabriel J was a menace. The few minutes he came on, it was a menace, and I knew that was gonna happen. This is my prediction was right. My goal prediction, my match prediction in terms of score was right. It was just, and my lineup was right because I didn't know what Partey was going to be injured. If Partey was going to be injured, I knew that he would play Kai Havertz. But it's just one thing, Raya. I picked Raya and he played Ramsdale over Raya. However, Jesus came on at the right time, which I predicted. When he come on, he's going to give the defense problem and make it worse. Martinez came off with an injury, and then Lindelof came off, so it was too easy. I see Gabriel Jesus running past Evans like he weren't there. Maguire beautiful goal. Gabriel J had a superb match. The small little cameo came and performed. He had a brilliant match. Now, that was it for this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. This was the match stats. This was the analysis for this video for this match against Man United. We played brilliant. No one can take this away from us. We played brilliant. No fans can talk about, oh, it was an offside or it wasn't offside, or the referee cheated, or this or that or that or this. I don't want to hear no excuse. We pumped United. Literally pumped them. Gabriel Jesus pumped Dalot. This was an overwhelming performance. Yes, at times it was scary. Yes, at times my heart was basically in my mouth. Yes, at times the team looked like they were going to fold. But once again, this is why we paid 105 million for a player like Declan Rice, to come give us this reassurance in midfield, to come give us this reassurance in the team, leading by example. Martin Odegaard as well, leading by example. These two will be our future skippers. I don't know what's going to happen to Martin Odegaard, but I can see Declan Rice already fighting for the captaincy. Both hands. So that was the video there and there. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Leave a comment in the box below telling me what you think about this video. Tell me what you think about the match. What are your thoughts on the match? Leave it in the comment box. Catch you in the next video, guys. Goodbye.